Inside the little-known world of airplane repossessions, repo expert Nick Popovich sends his son out to hunt down a target aircraft, only to uncover unexpected obstacles.
This turned out to be an absolute nightmare. That airplane's not ready to fly.
And later, a repo mission in a small town gets complicated.
Holy, that's not gonna be easy. You might have a pressurization leak, and 41,000, a small leak becomes a big leak in a hurry.
X-ray runway 7, hold, correction, runway 10, hold short, runway 7, attainment 10.
Welcome to the used car lot.
Nick Popovich operates in the high-stakes world of multi-million-dollar airplanes. For nearly 3 decades, he's repossessed aircrafts from individuals and corporations.
It's a family business, and it really is. I think the feeling of everybody that works on this property or at the warehouse or in my flight crews is that we are a family. We care about each other, and we want to see each other succeed.
With a hand-selected team and network of clients, spotters, brokers, mechanics, and pilots that span the globe, Nick will stop at nothing to track down a plane for repossession.
Line them up, Jim!
Nick and his head flight coordinator, Karen Keaton, are in the midst of brokering a deal on a twin-jet Airbus A320 that Nick recently repoed from the Middle East. A deal of this magnitude will be very lucrative for Nick.
This airplane has been operated in the Middle East, you can tell. See all the erosion from the sand?
Oh, wow.
That's just the sand blowing in there. So it gets in the valves, it gets in everything. That's why the Middle East is such a hard environment for airplanes. This is the wing we had all the fuel leaks on that delayed us. Good afternoon. What do you got? How soon? All right, well, I'll put together the list of what we need. Meanwhile, we'll get started trying to find the airplane, and we'll get everything rolling. All right, thanks for the call. Bye. It's a Hawker 600.
Target repo, the Hawker 600, an 8-passenger luxury jet powered by 2 turbojet engines. The Hawker has a maximum altitude of 41,000 feet and a maximum speed of 529 miles per hour. The current value new would be a little over $13 million.
Southeast is the best we know right now.
Okay.
What do we got to go scouting? How about Woody? Woody doing that inventory project?
I think Woody is on.
All right, you know what? Let's use Zach. Call Zach, tell him I want to talk to him in probably the flight planning office.
Nick's youngest son, Zach, has done a lot of odd jobs for his dad, but he's never scouted a plane. He's interested in a different class of high-speed machines.
This happens to be my 1968 Shelby GT350 Mustang. So whether it's a car, a dirt bike, or a snowboard, I like anything fast enough to do something dumb in. Right now we're on our way to my dad's house. He said he has something for me, and hopefully he's got some more info on this job I'm going on. Because it's my first time out, and more info the better.
Nick has hopes for Zach taking over the repo business someday. This job may help Zach decide if that's what he wants.
I'm not sure whether I want to get into my dad's business, but the way I see it going is I'll eventually take over and figure out what I want to do from there. Hey, you wanted to see me?
Thanks for coming in so late.
No problem.
Hold out your arms.
Okay.
How's that fit?
Well, it's a little big, but not bad.
It's a little heavy.
A little.
Let me show you why.
Okay.
What you have in here is a recording device. See that little monitor? I had Zachary stop by because I had a jacket for him that's got a button camera in it so that he can start filming while he's scouting without being noticed and without drawing any attention. This button right here is a pinhole camera, and this will film everything that you're doing.
Working with my dad, it's pretty cool, you know, it's a little James Bondish.
Then when you get done at the end of the day, you can download it, send it to me, and then we can compare notes and we can get a better picture of what you've seen.
Okay.
The reason we scout is to get as much intelligence as we can and to put together a reasonable plan. And we just need to get in and out fast. We don't want anything to hassle us or complicate this repo. But this, I think, will give us more proportion to the site as well. The stills sometimes lack proportion. You didn't understand the distances involved. Any questions?
Is there any more info you can give me on this?
We're looking for a Hawker 600.
Okay.
I think you're gonna find it in Alabama or Mississippi, possibly Florida. Need to find the airplane. We need to figure out how to grab it and get it back.
All right.
And we'll get started.
All right, I guess I'll see you in the morning.
All right.
All right.
Tomorrow morning when Zach comes in, I'm hoping that he has an action plan put together. Who's going, where they're gonna start, and what his follow-up plan is. If he doesn't find it at that first airport he's looking at, what's his follow-up plan? Where's he going next? You know, he's still young, he's 19. Of course, he thinks he knows it all. There's always danger. You have no idea who you're dealing with on the other end. The other set of dangers, the airplane's moving, jet engines turning, propellers moving. As a parent, it's mixed emotions. You always worry about your children, no matter how old they are.
With the green light to repossess a Hawker 600, Nick and Zach get to work early the next morning.
Hey, Al. As you see the email, here we are. You know, I'm on my way to a meeting. I'm running out. I'm late. I got this Hawker thing going. I got Zach going down to Florida, and it's just one thing after another. Hey, would you find Zachary for me?
Needed?
Hey, Zach, why don't you start checking flights, see what we can do to get out of here today,
Okay.
and then let me know what the options are so I can call Kelly and have her meet you. And call Kelly, see what hotel she wants you to stay at.
Okay.
Sending Zach down to South Florida. He's going to catch up with Kelly. Kelly's one of our better spotters. She's really great at finding and locating these airplanes. Hopefully, Zach spends some time with her. He'll pick up a couple of her tricks.
Yeah, hi. I need to get a flight out of Chicago. Right now, all the info that I have on this job is that it's a Hawker 600. Our contact down in Florida is a lady named Kelly. I'll probably get down there, meet up with Kelly, go do some scouting and initial work. Okay, rent-a-car, flight are taken care of. Kelly's taking care of the hotel.
Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Okay.
The last time it was seen was May 29th at Fort Lauderdale Exec. I would start at Fort Lauderdale Exec.
Okay. Meet up with Kelly, figure out if our plane is there, where it's at. Is it easily accessible? Hopefully we'll meet up and figure this out.
Delta Bravo have 3 jet aircraft right brake runway.
It's after midnight. Just landed, got my rent-a-car. Now I'm headed over to Kelly's office. She's my point of contact down here. I'm meeting with her so we can see what we can do about finding this plane tonight. Hi, Kelly.
Good to see you.
Kelly
See ya.
McDaniel is a spotter for Nick Popovich. Through a vast series of connections and hundreds of airports throughout the country, she tracks down, investigates, and locates aircrafts.
Down there, right? Okay. So we're gonna head on down to Executive, take a look?
Yeah, the only problem is, security's really tight there. And the hangars are really strange because they kind of encircle the ramp areas and it's really hard, hard to see what's out there, so. The chances of it still being here, who knows?
Security at the executive airport is on high alert, and access is strictly limited. Kelly and Zach can only hope to get a glimpse of the plane from outside the fence perimeter.
One of the challenges with this airport is you can't see from the road. I'm gonna pull up in here and see if we can get some sort of view. Is that a Hawker? Can you tell? Crap. That's a Hawker.
Sure is.
And look at the top of it, it's an old one.
See anything?
Can't see it.
Oh, it's right
So
there.
close.
It's just behind the nose of that Gulf Stream.
Let's pull back. Let's go back over to the other side.
We might be able to.
If we get out, maybe.
The
we
fence
can-
looked like it came almost up to that building.
Yeah, let's try that. Oh boy. We're busted.
Time to go.
Late on Friday night, still haven't heard from Zach. He hasn't called, he hasn't texted. I'm afraid to call him because if he's in a situation where he doesn't need the phone ringing, that might happen. Just wishing he would call or text or email me or send a smoke signal. Long day, and it's even harder waiting to hear from somebody like that.
Coming up, Nick spots trouble that could ground his repo, and Kelly is sent on a recon assignment to gather more intelligence.
There's fluid everywhere.
That airplane's not ready to fly.
Nick Popovich's son Zach and his spotter Kelly are trying to track down a Hawker 600 aircraft for repossession. But just as they are about to take a closer look, they encounter an unexpected surprise.
Okay.
We're busted. Tell him you heard Michael Jordan's plane was over there, and I told you I'd take you to see if that was it. Seriously.
Okay. I know we probably shouldn't be here. I heard Michael Jordan's plane was over here. She promised she'd take me to see it. Yeah.
We heard it was parked over there. I just thought maybe that was it.
No.
We were just looking for the basketball dude with the Nike thing on top. Pardon? Yeah, it's the silhouette of him playing basketball or whatever with the Nike thing on top.
Yeah,
so,
like on the Air Jordans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told him I'd bring him over, see if we could see it. All right, we will.
All right.
We're gonna. Is it okay if we pull down there? Ask him if it's okay if we just drive down the road.
Is it okay if we pull down there to see if we can get a look and try and find it?
You got it.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
That was good. I just want to get a look all the way around just to see if we get lucky. And then we can always, come back tomorrow morning and check. Oh, that building corner's gonna be in the way. I'm gonna pull up in here and see if we can get some sort of view. I have a night vision camera, and we'll try to see if we can get a glimpse of that tail number on that thing.
It's worth a try.
For Zach and Kelly to positively ID the plane, they need to confirm the numbers on the side of the engine. But at this distance, in the dark of night, it's nearly impossible.
No?
I can't.
Oh, crap, the glare's on it.
I can just barely see the side of that engine, and I can't
Yeah.
make out anything on it. A little more right on that engine.
Oh, there you go. Can't tell.
If we come back in the morning, is there any way we might be able to get past this fence?
Yes. I've got a friend who works for a company here, and if he's in town, he might be able to let us in.
Cool.
I just, not too many older hawkers like that around, so. The best thing to do at this point is just, we'll call it a night and then start first thing tomorrow morning and just come back here. We'll do another,
Quick little.
yeah, we'll do a quick run around the airport, but I think this might be it.
I've got a good feeling that is it.
Yeah.
Hello? Hey, about frickin' time you called. Where the hell have you been? Yeah, middle of the night, he finally checks in. The airplane, they've got eyes on it, so they're going to scope it out, shoot some video and some stills of it. Okay. Either tonight or tomorrow morning and get those to me, and we're gonna start planning, and maybe if we can come up with a plan by tomorrow, we'll go get it. If not, we're gonna have to sit and think about it for a little while, because this one's gonna be tough.
Hey,
Good news.
good news. We found the plane.
You do?
It's blocked in on either side. Kelly's actually got a plan as how we can get down there and get a good look at it, get some good pictures for you.
The next morning, after spotting what they had hoped was the Hawker 600, Kelly and Zach positively identify the aircraft at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport.
Nick, I'm gonna go into the FBO. I'm gonna give them one of my business cards as an appraiser and tell them that I'm gonna pick one of the airplanes that's on the other side of the airplane that we're looking at to do just a short inspection for an appraisal.
Kelly got out and did her thing, pretended to be inspecting the plane next to ours. And I just got a couple of still photos on my cell phone of our target.
Did you get it?
Yep, got the tail number. And I got
Excellent.
It was awesome. It was just really exciting. I got video of the entire layout, so we know how we're gonna get in there and get at the plane. I really hope my dad is proud of me. We found the plane. We got everything done that we needed done. Hopefully, he'll be happy. I send those pictures to my dad's cell phone.
That was sweet.
Hey, Nick, I'm forwarding you the pictures right now.
Okay, well, he's got them. It is definitely our airplane.
Right,
so.
right.
This is our target airplane. We've got something here blocking it, and this airplane here blocking it, so there's no way we're gonna get out. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like the airplane's listing to port. What I'm seeing is this airplane's not ready to fly. I gotta get better intelligence. I'm gonna give Kelly a call. We're gonna have to figure a way to get up close to the airplane and see if we've got a collapsed strut or what we've got.
If the mechanical problems are extensive, Nick will be facing costly repairs for this repo.
The airplane's not ready to fly.
Hang on, let me see if this is them.
Sure, go ahead.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
With Zach on a flight back to Indiana, Kelly McDaniel has contacted an associate, Bo Fielding, who brokers the sales and purchase of aircraft. With his help, Kelly hopes to gain access to the executive airport to gather in-depth intel on the Hawker 600 targeted for repo.
Yeah, it looks like that strut's completely flat. Well, the footage that Zach brought back is actually pretty good, surprisingly enough. It shows a couple of problems we got to deal with. The strut problem that definitely you can tell from the footage is a strut problem. The strut is the main piston on the landing gear. There's a charge that goes in that strut, much like a shock absorber on a car. So we're gonna have to figure that problem out before we can fly the airplane. So next step, hopefully Kelly's gonna get access, get me some better photographs up close, and we'll know exactly what we're dealing with.
You let us know and we'll get it handled down here, whatever you decide to do.
Appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you later.
Night, Nick.
Bye.
I should have got this thing out first.
Kelly and Bo are now on a critical mission. They must move quickly in the dark of night to gather detailed photos so Nick can determine the extent of damage on the aircraft.
Yeah, see, there's no strut showing at all.
If the problems are too severe, it may jeopardize the entire repossession.
Yeah, get a quick one to the other side. That way you can see
Okay.
the difference. The nose, you've got about, you're good there.
Yeah.
This side right here. No, right through here, baby.
There's fluid everywhere, Bo. Let's see if we can send this to.
Hey, David?
Yep.
I want to talk to you about this Hawker for tomorrow.
Within minutes, Nick receives the photos. He consults with Dave Dietz, his chief mechanic.
It's going to be a first for us. Kelly got some great intel photos.
Wow, that's rough-looking gear. How long has it been setting?
We think since May.
Kind of looks like some corrosion there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm wondering if the wing has corroded and the fuel cells leaking or seeping and it's caught under the paint, or if that's just grease on top of it.
It very well could be, because I don't think grease would be up there, I don't think.
Late Monday night, Kelly sent in some new photos. They're really good close-up shots. This airplane's got problems. Our strut's fully compressed. Scissors are flat. Well, here's what scares me. Look at the corrosion on that fan disc, on the blades.
Yeah.
This has turned out to be an absolute nightmare. got an airplane, we don't know if it's gonna be airworthy or not. We got the safety concerns for the crew. We got the concern about cost of getting it out of there if we wanna fly it out. We gotta get down there and take a look at it and see what we've got and make a decision then as to what we're gonna do with it. Either way, I think it's gonna cost the client a lot of money. So plan is 6:30 tomorrow, wheels up. If it's worth salvaging and we think we can save this airplane, I'll leave Dave down to fix it, and then as soon as it's ready, we'll send a crew down for it. At this point, we're just kind of scrambling to get down there and see what we've got, figure it out, and get it done.
Up next, Nick's team takes a first-hand look at the Hawker 600.
There's no way this thing's gonna fly.
And later, Nick is hot on the trail of a Beechcraft premiere with its own problems.
I don't like this log entry.
Nick's team has located the Hawker 600 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But footage of the plane taken by his son Zach has revealed mechanical defects, forcing Nick to prepare for the worst.
This airplane's got problems.
On the eve of the repo, Nick gathers the final member of his crew.
Hey, Dad.
Welcome home.
Thanks. I'll show you, you can kind of see the layout. All right, here's our target right here.
Okay. See the list?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Did you see anything else that would be of concern?
No, we didn't see any fluids on the ramp or any major damage to the plane. Nothing obvious, anyhow.
So we got two problems that I can see right now. One is the strut, and two is getting out of there. We've got airplanes stacked all over us.
Yeah. I'm just really glad that, you know, the photos and the footage I took could help my dad out and make this job a little bit easier for everyone else, including myself.
Good work on this Hawker.
All right, thank you.
Pack your bags, we leave in the morning. Be at the airplane at 6 o'clock.
All right, sounds good.
Left turn north now.
The next morning, Nick and his crew take off for Fort Lauderdale, Florida in Nick's Challenger.
Once we land, we'll taxi in. We'll shut down the engines, leave the APU running. Kelly's gonna come on board. We're gonna do a briefing then. We're gonna tow it, we're gonna inspect it, and then we'll sit down and make a decision whether or not we wanna repo it. Levon, you get a hold of the police department, let them know what's going on. Karen, you're gonna work with the FBO and Kelly to coordinate that. Zach, you, Dave, and I, and Jim are gonna start looking at the Hawker.
Okay.
This is uncharted territory.
Yeah, it really is uncharted. We've never done this.
Right.
Right now, we don't know enough about this airplane to make an informed decision. You can look at a couple of pictures and say, oh yeah, this is terrible. You get there and go, ah. So we're gonna keep our open mind till we get on the ground. And then the circus begins.
Flight clear to land runway 22, the another F5 turning into the intersection, north-south taxiway left to the runway.
How you doing? I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, it's a Hawker.
Oh, great. You can go ahead and sit in there and go through the records.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh.
It's full of mold. Airplane is rough. It's wore off further than we thought. The cabin is full of mold. There's no way this thing's gonna fly. Oh, God. It hasn't flown since April. God. It's corroded. I don't even want to tow it because the struts are so flat, I'm afraid we'd break a casting on a bump. Hey, Zach, walk on the wing here. Reach in and see if you can turn the fan blades.
Okay.
The blades behind the bullet, see if you can turn them.
All right. Spin them.
At least the engines aren't seized.
There's wasp nest in the exhaust pipe there.
It seems right now that this airplane isn't going to go anywhere. It's likely that the value of the airplane makes it prohibitive to actually try to repair and move.
Hey, Dave, any need to pull it in to look at it?
Doesn't look very good. I mean, it's all that hydraulic fluid is from a strut.
Well, let's go. I'm gonna go make a phone call.
The thing is, with this kind of work, you never know what you're up against. There's so many unknowns that, so many times you have to just be as flexible as possible and know that sometimes what you think is going to happen is the exact opposite than what really does happen. Okay.
Problem is, without a logbook, it's useless. This is one of the first times where we're gonna say, don't take the airplane and, let's not move it. We're gonna have to take it apart here if we take it apart.
Nick is left with one option. He has to dismantle the aircraft on the ground and find a broker for the parts. It's the only way he can salvage this repo.
Everybody thinks, when you're repoing, all you're doing is hurting the guy. 9 times out of 10, we can do a better job on getting the airplane moved, getting it back in airworthy condition and get it sold than the owner can, only because we've done it so many times. And we have so much resources available to us.
To get them out of this bind, Kelly calls in Bo Fielding once again.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bo, how are you? I want to thank you for all the help. It's been invaluable.
More than welcome.
This airplane, I'm not sure, but what I think we're going to do is take it apart here. I'm going to talk to the bank tomorrow and tell them what the situation is. What I'd like you to do is work up a quote for a hangar to tear it apart in and assisting in that.
Yeah, there's enough avionics.
Wheels, that kind of stuff, brakes, we can always send them out.
And I have facilities that I can do that stuff. I usually get it cost plus 10 on it.
Okay. We come in and we take what's gone bad and try to make it as good as possible. In talking with Bo, who's going to be an invaluable resource as it turns out. Thank God Kelly fawned him and knows him and has worked with him. We might be able to generate some cash out of it, but it's going to have to be done here, and that's going to be expensive. All right, so we'll take this thing apart. You'll get what I anticipate. I need to get approval. We'll take it apart here. We'll go from there.
All right.
Hey,
well, guys, I got to run.
Bo, I appreciate it.
With the lender's approval, Nick will help Bo and his team break down the Hawker to be sold piece by piece.
Thank you very, very much.
With the plane in its current condition, Nick hopes to recoup only a fraction of what they would on a normal repossession. It's an unusual repossession and the first of its kind for Nick and his team, who will return to Gary, Indiana for their next Airplane Repo.
Line them up, Jim.
Coming up, a new repo in uncharted territory.
Oh, that's not gonna be easy.
And a desolate town leaves Kelly and Zach to their own devices.
I didn't see a soul.
You guys are on your own now.
Nick Popovich is on the move, and he's always closing in on the next job.
We repossess everything from corporate aircraft and helicopters all the way through commercial jumbo jets. Been doing it for 30 years and can't imagine doing anything else. Got a call from a banker that we work with, and he has an airplane that is a troubled situation. I'm always dealing with people that are in crisis, especially in today's economy. You feel sorry for a lot of these people.
The plane being repoed is a Beechcraft Premier, a single-pilot twin-turbo fan-engine business jet that seats up to 6 passengers. It can cruise at a maximum altitude of 41,000 feet at 520 miles per hour. Top value new, just under $6 million.
Hey, Megan, did we get those charts printed that I need?
Yeah, they're right in here.
The last known location of the target plane was a small airport in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's not gonna be easy. I came over to the warehouse today, had Megan print on our oversized printer some of the airport diagrams so I could take a look at this. It's one of the smaller airfields we've been to. Causes some unique problems. Everybody knows everybody on the field, everybody knows what's going on, and everybody knows who the airplane it is, so. Such a small local airport that I'm worried that a big group of people wandering around is gonna cause a lot of attention and jeopardize this repo.
Nick's first job, get eyes on the ground to pinpoint the exact location of the target plane. After the last successful repo, Nick decides to pair up Zach and Kelly once again.
My son Zachary is 19 years old. He's going to school part-time, working for me part-time, and he's learning the repo business. Kelly McDaniel and I have been working together for the last 11 years. More recently, she's been doing more spotting for me, and spotting is basically just doing the groundwork and intelligence to go out and find the airplane, get some idea of what's the best time or place to grab it, and then report back to us.
Zach and Kelly take off in a company Hawker. The quicker they get to Pennsylvania, the better the odds Nick will have a trouble-free repossession.
Zach and I are on our way to Pennsylvania. We're gonna recover a Premier aircraft, and we've been briefed a little bit by Nick, but there's just not a whole lot right now that any of us know. So Zach and I are on our own. We're gonna be doing a little scouting, trying to find it. So hopefully the size of the airport, it won't take too long, but you never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
Back at his home base, Nick and his office crew plan for a morning repossession,
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. departure.
hoping that Zach and Kelly will be able to locate and gain access to the field tonight.
I need a field quote, please.
Nick's gonna do briefing with you right before departure.
Yeah, field? Okay, perfect. Working last minute repos really takes a toll on my personal life. When I first came here, they told me, you'd be working more than 40 hours a week, which I didn't necessarily believe until I started working.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye. Dave is good to go for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Friday night, it's late. Got everything lined up just in case Kelly and Zach do find the airplane tonight.
Next, confirmation must be made with the on-staff pilot hired for the job.
You will be getting in there at 12:12.
It's been a long day, so we're gonna be ready.
But as Kelly and Zach arrive in eastern Pennsylvania,
Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Thanks.
they face a new challenge. The airport looks completely deserted.
Captain,
Yes, ma'am.
is there anybody out there? I didn't see a soul.
You guys are on your own now.
That's an understatement.
To start their search for the plane, Kelly and Zach get a rental car so they can scout the entire airport perimeter. To be as discreet as possible, standard procedure calls for always searching the tarmac from the safety of a vehicle, where it is less likely they will gain the attention of airport personnel.
Do you see anything up there?
And this is all just small aircraft.
No, it doesn't look like there's...
It's all props.
I'm not seeing anything
Nothing.
that's even close. I think we're running out of options here. On to plan B, right? Let's do it.
Plan B is the last resort. Zach and Kelly will now search hangars on foot. Back in Indiana, Nick and his team have put in a long night getting everything ready to repo a plane they still haven't located.
Zach and Kelly have been on the ground about 4 hours. It's getting late. I want to kind of wrap up for the evening.
In Pennsylvania, Zach and Kelly continue checking hangars. Since Nick's Hawker is on a ramp here, they're able to gain access to the airport without arousing suspicion.
What's the tail number of that
It's, yeah.
That's it. Beautiful.
James,
Perfect.
What's going on?
we found the airplane.
You found the airplane. Good. How's it look?
Coming up, Zach and Kelly try to get a closer look at the airplane, while Nick comes up with his own plan of attack.
Here. We've been hired to repo the airplane. If you want to just turn it over and save yourself some money, we can do that.
Sage-Popovich is in the middle of a tense repo. Spotter Kelly and Nick's son Zach have located the Beechcraft Premier in a locked hangar in Pennsylvania. Nick and his team must get access to the aircraft and fly it back to his hangar base in Gary, Indiana. Although no one knows they are about to repossess the jet, what happens next is up to Nick's client.
And I gave him a couple options here. We can call them and tell them we're coming in to do an inspection, or we can just call them and tell them, look, you know, we've been hired to repo the airplane. If you want to just turn it over and save yourself some money, we can do that.
Nick's client makes a quick choice.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Just got off the phone with the bank. They prefer that we do an inspection first, so I've asked Kelly and Zach to do that and report back to me.
As a representative of the bank financing the Beechcraft Premier, Kelly is able to gain legal access to the hangar to inspect the aircraft. They are anxious to see the condition of the target and find out if it is airworthy. Then they can report back to Nick with an update.
Doesn't show it.
Tires look good.
What's going on?
It looks good. We just did a quick visual on the outside and opened it up, and we went inside and looked, and it looks like it's in good shape.
All right, well, take it easy. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay, you got it.
All right.
All righty, bye.
After an 8-hour search, the repossession is officially on. First thing in the morning, Nick and his crew board his private jet for a 2-hour trip to eastern Pennsylvania.
Left side. 80 knots.
A million things could go wrong on this repossession. So the adrenaline is pumping, but the spirits are high.
Saturday morning, we're on our way to this small town in Pennsylvania. Unlike a big airport like JFK, a small town has its own problems. When you land, you're kind of an outsider. They're wondering what you're there for. They're kind of watching you. And you never know whose airplane it is. It could be the local county sheriff, for all I know. Hopefully it's going to go smooth, but you just never know. We're prepared for whatever happens. Fortunately, Dave's with us.
Dave Calm is one of Nick's most trusted pilots. He's been hired on this job to fly the repossessed plane back to Gary, Indiana.
Dave's been through some of the battles. Probably one of the hairiest that we've had in the last, 10 years he's been with us. I'm convinced that he can handle anything that they throw at us in this little town. We'll go from there.
Kelly and Zach inform the hangar attendant that 2 bank representatives are arriving this morning. The bank representatives are none other than Nick.
Dave, have you met everybody?
And Dave.
All right, should we go?
Yep.
It's showtime, and all eyes are on the newcomers. Now everyone has to do their job and get this repo done quickly.
This morning, I did an inspection last night. I did another one this morning, just a little bit closer. They pulled the airplane out in the daylight for me. So.
All right, well, we probably want to get it out and top it off. You want it topped off all the way?
Yeah, let's top it off.
All righty.
Just in case prying eyes are watching them, Nick and Dave make sure their inspection is authentic and thorough.
Airplane looks great.
But it's not all show. They need to make sure this plane is safe for them to fly.
Dave is just over-serviced here. Or...
Oh, they weep. We'll check it.
All right, I'm gonna go look at logs, Dave. I'll let you do your walk around.
Okay.
Zach, you want to take me into this conference room?
Yeah.
Nick draws attention away from the aircraft by going inside to inspect the plane's logbooks.
And I'm just looking at logbooks to make sure we're current so that the airplane is legal.
Meanwhile, back in the hangar,
Yeah, the tow bar's in the baggage compartment.
Dave and Kelly persuade the ground crew to wheel the jet onto the tarmac. Now Dave can take the covers off the engines and prepare for the flight without arousing the suspicions of airport security. Coming up,
They think we're still inspecting. We're just gonna do ground runs.
just when it looks like Nick's pulled off the repo,
I don't want to do anything to tip them off.
airport security heads straight for the plane.
If they give us any crap, we'll just say, hey, it's too late.
Nick Popovich is in the final stretch of retrieving a Beechcraft Premier. But he has one final hurdle, to examine the jet's logbooks.
Do we know how many hours on the airplane?
845.6.
Okay.
On March 11th was the 800-hour inspection.
The logbooks show Nick a detailed account of the airplane's flight history and updated maintenance records.
I don't like this log entry.
But if there are any discrepancies, the plane may not be allowed to take off.
We don't have an A&P number.
An ANP number is the license number for a plane's mechanic. Without it, there's no telling who's done maintenance, nor any accountability for maintenance being to code.
They still aren't tracking landings. 797. Here it is. Okay. Complied with the 200, 800. All right, so that makes sense. This makes sense. We're good to go.
Satisfied the logbooks are all in order, Nick can get back to the job at hand of getting the plane into the air.
Well, so far nobody's figured out we're leaving with the airplane, so we'll see. You got everything you need? Your walk-around's good?
About halfway through that.
As soon as pilot Dave Calm has finished his inspection of the airplane, he will fire up the engines and hopefully take off.
Not bad. I thought I saw a crease here, but It's just the way the light is. Actually, the airplane's gorgeous.
Everything about the Premier looks great on the outside.
We've got staining all the way along the drink rail, and it's stained the waist rail as well. That's a concern. I'm thinking what it is the air circulation, condensation is getting up there, but this is moist. I wonder if we got window leaks. The weakest point of the airplane is where you have a cut in the fuselage. One of the things you worry about is if in fact we have a crack, and as you expand and contract under pressurization, you might have a pressurization leak. And, you know, 41,000, a small leak becomes a big leak in a hurry.
Nick and his crew need to determine if they are dealing with cosmetic problems or something more serious that may prevent them from flying.
The airflow here, this is soaked.
I think it probably got in the pressurization, it was blowing. It was real humid. Looks like this is all cosmetic.
That's what it looks like to me. If you want me to pull this closeout panel off and look for you.
We'll do the full pressurization check and make sure everything's okay.
All right.
Environmental works, we'll be good.
All right.
All we have to do is just organize ourselves, and I think we're ready.
We're waiting for you to close the door and fire up. We'll be right behind you.
Okay. I'll start getting situated.
Nick exits the Beechcraft. Dave shuts the hatch and prepares for a pressurization test. Testing the pressurization of the plane is as simple as filling the cabin with compressed air and maintaining the constant pressure. If the test is a success, the plan is for Dave to immediately take off in the Beechcraft, followed by Kelly, Zach, and Nick on Nick's jet.
Everybody's cooperating. They think we're still inspecting. We're just going to do ground runs. So if they give us any crap, we'll get ready to leave. We'll just say, hey, it's too late. It's already been repossessed. Here's the incident number. I'm trying to do this as nice as possible. Obviously, the owner's not causing us any problem. Everybody here has been polite, so I don't want to do anything to tip them off.
Then, an airport security truck shows up and heads towards the jet. Nick's luck may have just run out. So far, so good, but the jet still hasn't moved. This could be a sign it failed the pressurization test. Or Dave could be waiting for the security truck to leave. Finally, the jet moves.
There he goes.
After 2 hours in the air, Dave arrives back in Gary, Indiana with the repoed Beechcraft Premier. Once they return to Gary, Nick's team will conduct a thorough inspection of the Beechcraft, make upgrades, and then Nick will put it back on the market for sale.
A lot of reasons, especially in this economy, that an airplane owner can lose his aircraft. These are the kind of people you'll feel sorry for, because you could tell he loved this airplane. He took good care of it. He just had some major maintenance done on it. As an owner myself, my heart goes out to these guys.